Okay, I literally just got back from the movie, and look at this. I know you can't see it well, but there is a moth in this lamp. One of Mothra's children followed me back from the theater. Mothra is in my room. This is destiny, guys. Oh, you see that? Ah, you pesky bee! The review must go on, damn it! Don't worry, everyone. The pesky bee has been slain. Ugh. Disgusting little thing. It's TVB, and I'm here today to review the long-awaited and super hyped Godzilla King of the Monsters. This whole monster week has led up to this and my spoiler talk tomorrow and another bit I got planned on Saturday. Oh, yes! Oh, it's finally here! Oh, I'm so glad I finally saw it. Okay, anyway, this film is the follow-up to 2014's Godzilla and 2017's Kong Skull Island and the whole legendary MonsterVerse, as it stars Kyle Chandler, Vera Farmiga, Sally Hawkins, Millie Bobby Brown, Ken Watanabe, Thomas Middleditch, O'Shea Jackson, just a lot of people in this movie, and it centers around the Monarch, the cryptozoology agency, keeping tabs on Godzilla, who is about to face off with King Ghidorah for the first time in ages, and as well as Mothra and Rhoda and other kaiju that show up, as there's like a huge fight to save the world and define who is like the alpha monster. So I usually talk about I start these reviews with like my expectations of the film that I just saw going into it, but I don't have to. Like, this was number one on my most anticipated movies of 2019 list. That's right. I was looking forward to King of the Monsters than I was for Endgame, and I'm more excited for this than I am for Rise of Skywalker. It comes out in December, and the reason why that is because we get Star Wars movies. We've been getting Star Wars movies annually since 2015. We get 3 Marvel movies every year. Like, yeah, Endgame as of now is still my pick for best movie of 2019. Like, it is a fan freaking 10 out of 10-tastic movie. But again, we get at least 3 Marvel movies every year. Godzilla hasn't been on screen since 2014. And this is Mothra's, Godzilla's, Rodan's, and King Ghidorah's first time all being on screen together since the 60s. Like, how can you not get stoked for this? And yeah, like, you guys have seen the whole monster week that I had planned for you guys. What did I think of this film leaving it? I think this film satisfied me. Like, I was not disappointed, and it even exceeded my expectations in some ways, though some might disagree. Okay, I have a serious question for you guys. What, between it seems to be that the 2 biggest movie critic websites are Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. See, the critics on Rotten Tomatoes aren't giving this movie favorable reviews. Like, that 41% saying, oh, the story is not that great despite the great action scenes. But IMDb gives it a more fresh rating. So what do you guys think is the more reliable movie reviewing source? Because I've been using Rotten Tomatoes for years, but in recent memory, I've been starting to question it a lot more, and IMDb might seem more professional. I don't know, but the point is, I really enjoyed myself with King of the Monsters, because I think my bar was set very high for it already, and this film, again, I was not disappointed. Like, they learned from their mistakes from the 2014 Godzilla film. Excuse me. 2014 Godzilla was still, I liked it. I could see myself buying it on DVD, but I will admit it has its issues. Like, a lot of the action scenes and moments in this film take place in very dark lighting. Like, you can barely see when Godzilla's fighting the Mutos, you can barely see what's going on until he uses his nuclear breath. And Gareth Edwards' whole gimmick, he does in Rogue One too, where oh, we were promised Godzilla, but he only gets 15 minutes of screen time. Just like how in Rogue One we were promised Darth Vader, but Darth Vader only gets 10 to 15 minutes of screen time. Yet when Godzilla and Vader are both on screen, their respective films are the best part about the entire movie, and you cannot take your eyes off it, especially the ending scenes. Yeah, Godzilla Yeah, spoiler alert. You guys have had 5 years to watch 2014 Godzilla. Tough shit. Yeah, Godzilla, like, launching his, like, atomic breath down the Muto and decapitating it is honestly one of the greatest villain kills in cinema history. Like I said about Godzilla barely getting screen time in the last film, he gets a lot more screen time in this one. And so does Mothra and Rodan and Ghidorah. You know, these fan favorites are returning to the screen. And yeah, they get the screen time they deserve. They're not, like, barely used, and yeah, they learn from their mistakes. Though a common criticism that I've been hearing for King of the Monsters is that, you know, it's kind of the opposite of 2014 Godzilla film. In 2014 film, people were complaining that, oh, it was too much emphasis on the humans. There's the human characters, blah 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 blah. Like, oh, there's not enough Godzilla and too many humans. Like, you know, human drama going on. But people say like, oh, King of the Monsters, there's too much monster fighting and not enough human scenes. Like, I mean, but the thing is, I can understand where that criticism's coming from, but we want to see monster movies. Yeah, I like Kyle Chandler. I mean, Kyle Chandler is a great actor, and he was also in the 2005 King Kong remake directed by Peter Jackson, where, like, and he's also returning next year for Kong versus Godzilla, so it's like, hey, a Peter Jackson family reunion. It's like Kyle Chandler's seeing King Kong 15 years later. Like, that's gonna be amazing. So yeah, I like Kyle Chandler and Ken Watanabe and O'Shea Jackson Jr. and all, like, you know, it's a great cast. But at the end of the day, we go to these MonsterVerse movies to see Godzilla. We're here to see Godzilla and Mothra and Ghidorah and Rodan, whoever else is in the mix, just tear each other to shreds. Like, yeah, human characters are important because, you know, they're the ones we're talking, ones we're going to be relating to, but at the same time, it's Godzilla's movie, not Kyle Chandler's. Okay, guys? Let's make that clear. And, you know, this movie never lets you forget the whole power struggle between all these different monsters. And the visual effects and the technical work is so spot on. Like, see, I was really impressed with the Muto sound effects in 2014's Godzilla, but the sound effects for Mothra and Rodan and Ghidorah, like, they're chirping and they're screeching and all that, like, the sound editing in this blows the Muto effects out of the water. Like, oh my goodness, like, the trailer had the sound effects so good just then. The trailers for this movie were so great, and they were even better in the movie. And I finally tried Cinemark's XD and 3D format, you know, where it's like it's in a big screen and you get the 3D glass. So I guess like their answer to Real D IMAX, like 3D that you see in other theaters. Yeah, this film is worth seeing in 3D, guys, because the 3D effects actually work. And yeah, everything really pops out. And this movie is much more bright and colorful, which is good. You know, it gives a more lighthearted. But there's jokes in this movie that are a little bothersome at times. But yeah, it's pretty lighthearted, which is good because, like, superheroes, giant monsters are at their core a little campy, so don't take them too seriously. This movie knew better not to take itself too seriously. I mean, there's no John C. Reilly from Kong Skull Island to, like, have us laughing our asses off, but, like, hey, it's still, like, good to see some humor sprinkled in. And the human characters, I will say, like, I was almost teary-eyed at a few scenes, like, especially in the second half of the movie. My jaw was, like, almost down to the floor, because, like, some moments happened, so I was just like, whoa. That just happened. I can't say specifically because this review is spoiler free. Still, this, like I said, this movie exceeded my expectations. It's hard to talk about how this film preceded my expectations without spoiling it. So yeah, just stay tuned for my spoiler full discussion that's going up tomorrow. I feel like I'm just promoting myself at this point, but hey, I gotta do what I gotta do. And the whole future of the MonsterVerse. Yeah, the MonsterVerse movies, they're not gonna last forever. This is not gonna last as long as Marvel, because Toho still technically owns the rights to Godzilla, I think. Like, back in 2016, they made Shin Godzilla, which I have not seen, but I've heard amazing things about. So yeah, they can still, like, call us shots about Godzilla movies. So after Kong versus Godzilla, that's coming out next year, it's hard to say whether they're gonna keep, like, giving Legendary Studios and Warner Bros. More money to keep making these kind of movies for, you know, Western audiences. So I wouldn't hold my breath on them just cutting it all off after Kong vs. Godzilla, but I could also see more MonsterVerse movies happening after this. We'll see what happens, I guess. Well, guys, I'll be darned. King of the Monsters was one of those things I was looking forward to the most this year. My most hyped movie of 2019. It's coming, it's gone. And yeah, I can gladly say it was totally worth the wait. So I'm gonna give Godzilla King of the Monsters a 9 out of 10 stars. It's an awesome film. Again, like I asked, like IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes, which one do you guys prefer? And stay tuned for the last 2 videos that are coming up this week to end off Monster Week. Yeah, thank you guys a lot for watching. I'm really glad that I did this whole like themed week. I've done like themed weeks before, like back in 2015 I did a whole zombies week, and did I do any other special? Oh, when Force Awakens came out back my junior year of high school, I did a whole Star Wars week. So yeah, if you guys want to do more weeks like this, because I would like to make another monster week next year for Kong when the Kong versus Godzilla comes around. So that movie comes. Oh wait, no, that movie comes out in March, just in the middle of the school year. So yeah, I don't think that's gonna be happening. Oh well. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And very special thanks to the nice people who gave me a lift from the theater who gave me a lift back to my apartment after the movie ended. Like, I'm not gonna give any names, but you know who you are. Thanks a lot. You guys mean the best. You guys, my goodness, I need sleep. All right, you guys get the idea. Like, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to this channel, please. And yeah, have a nice night.